Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris in our Song of the Stars series. So, we are really hoping that we can convert furest to one of our worlds. Basically, infiltrate this newly space age race to convert them to our territory before they become their own AI empire right next to us. And I said that this would happen in the series. Even though I turned the AI empires all the way down, they're gonna pop up. And I actually kind of like, for those of you who might have been maybe skeptical, going, well, is it really gonna be, I mean, is there gonna be that much action, or are we just gonna watch Hadrian build an empire? Well, here you go. So we're keeping an eye on them. They're in the Baham system, of course. And then, of course, we're also just trying to make sure we continue building up our other worlds. We've got a colony ship building on Nalzaroth. Let's have a look at the surface of Nalzaroth and see what else we might be able to do here. Because we've got some money built up. So looks like we've got industrial wasteland here. There's going to need to be a physics lab there soon, so let's go ahead, or a science lab, but it's a physics tile, so it's going to have extra physics output. And everything else looks good there. Let's switch to Eulacia Prime. I had someone comment and ask me if I was going to rename my worlds, which is actually a good question, because in this case, you know, the voices have very unique names. Like, their homeworld is Nalzaroth. For those of you who it wasn't clear to, I made the voices myself. I wrote the description, I wrote the names. Everything is just stuff that I came up with a while back, because I think someone wrote a comment that's almost as though they thought the species was in the base game, and it's not. It's a custom race. But anyway, so they have this homeworld called Nalzaroth, but then just I've been using the system names, Eulacia Prime and Duranma, for the new colony. So those might get changed sooner than later, I would imagine, but that's not my focus at the moment. I've got this, let's see, we've got, right, we're building this colony ship. Let's speed things up just a little bit. So the furthest infiltration is going at 2 points per month, and we've got 46 points left to go. While the planet is prohibitively irradiated, at least one advanced form of life flourishes on Coria 1A. Arthropodal in nature, Science Officer Sidefane Kalumix reports that the creatures exhibit impressive collective decision-making skills, and that outside stimulus may spur them to greater evolutionary heights. So let's have a look here. This is the Tomb World. Yeah. Oh, Rochoids. Ooh, interesting. These are pre-sentient, so this is a race that we could potentially uplift. That's kind of terrifying. They're literally space cockroaches, and they're right next to us in Coria. So we've got our science ship on the way to look into the last probe of the ones that we were looking into. The Borbagon system has been fully surveyed. Construction ship, what are you up to, and can you do anything else for me? Not really. Hey, okay. Although our operatives on the surface of Furtus now numbered in the thousands, the progress of our operation has been slow. An infiltration cell recently attempted to overthrow the government of one of the planet's major nations in a violent coup, only to have the attempt foiled and most of the cell members killed. Another cell fortunately managed to retrieve their bodies before the Zikmark authorities could identify them as aliens, but this is a significant setback. Okay, well, we're really having trouble with this planet. So that means we might, I don't know that we're going to be able to integrate them. Yeah, our progress was just set back. So it doesn't change the rate at which we progress, it just sets us back. There has been a sweeping change in the ways of the primitive Zraxroxy series, or since we began aggressively observing members of their species all over Jindet. Their hatred of our abduction shuttles has made them extremely mistrustful of anything they consider foreign, while at the same time strengthening the bonds they feel towards their own culture and species. Interesting. So we are violating the Prime Directive, as it were, and we are having an effect on the other species that we are currently observing. We are aggressively observing the species on this planet. These guys here. This is a, I don't remember. Iron Age. There it is. That's the information I was looking for. It doesn't show there, but if you point to that tooltip, then it pops up quite quickly. Anyway, construction ship. What are you up to?
Construction complete.
Come build some research stations, please. Hey! Colony ship's ready. So, that one in Duranma's probably best. Tropical world for my next one. But then there's the Saramore world as well, which is an ocean world. Yeah, we're going to go to Duranma first. We're going to colonize, and where... Ooh. Don't have any food spots initially. So maybe we should set down right there, so that there can be an adjacency bonus to the food production when we move in. Alright, so let's just call this one Daran Met. How about that? And then this one here, Duranma Prime.
System survey.
Daran Shi. I don't know. I haven't thought too much about the phonetics of this race, so we're going to just come up with it organically on the fly. Alright, so we can upgrade that building. We can clear... Yeah, let's go ahead and clear those slums so that food tile is open. That would be a good thing. Thank you very much.
Construction complete.
Alright, so this is going to take... This is taking some of our energy reserves, but not enough to actually affect our income negatively, which is nice, but it's going to take about 11 months to finish up, and then that colony will be established. So Daran Met has been established.
System survey complete.
Maybe that's a numbering system we can use for them. Maybe she or Ji, however you want to pronounce it, this is a new language, will be 1, and then Met will be 2. Haha!
Research complete.
Or maybe, hang on, let's do something... Alright, now I'm thinking about it more. Let's call this colony Nal Daran. Maybe Nal resembles Prime somehow. Alright, let's pause for a second. So we've just finished researching power plants. Very handy. So that's gonna help with our energy issue because we can upgrade all of our power plants. Let's go ahead and go for deflectors. Just for defensive measures. And let's now have a look at the surface because we have some upgrading to do. Need to clear that mountain range as well, because that's going to give us access to more power when we're ready there. Not quite ready to upgrade here, but we will be. There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization on this inhospitable rock. Research, please. So things are going pretty well aside from this situation on Baham. This observation post is... Okay, we are right now 36 or 34 points away, 2 per month, so that's 17 months. Year and a half away from possibly, at least from reaching the next stage, possibly from completely converting them. So this construction ship, they've finished their research stations. There's nothing else I can do at the moment with this construction ship unless I were to build a new observation post. Okay, we found information on a dead precursor race just based on ruins. The Voltuam Star Assembly. We've recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on Arbitraeus 2. They must have been active in this region of space approximately 12 million years ago, judging by the age of the artifacts. From what they have been able to piece together, our scientists theorize that these aliens, who called themselves the Voltuam Star Assembly, were worm-like annelids roughly 3 to 4 meters in length that communicated with each other primarily through vibrations carried along their segmented bodies.
Situation
Interesting.
updated.
Let's have a look at the sit log. We still need to search that last system. The science ship is on its way. Okay, so we now have to gather 6 different artifacts, and the habitable world survey is still 1/2 complete, so we're making progress there. Let's keep the game moving as much as possible. I want to keep that clock going. I'll pause when there's something to read or think about, because that's Paradox for you, but for the most part we want the clock to be going. Alright, so these systems have all been surveyed over here. Tell you what, let's go ahead, let's jump out here. Notice one major difference with this new patch. Space creatures are less of a thing because they're not wandering around as much anymore. They have regions of space where they belong, so we might stumble into one of their regions of space. Like that. Okay, these are actually hostile aliens. So we've encountered some form of alien vessels in the Runa system. These strange objects have been flagged as Theta aliens until we can learn more about them. Alright, so they're hostile. Let's have a look. What do we got? Oh, wow. Holy mother of God. This must be a hive system, because that's a massive, massive fleet. Good lord. We're going to get away from them. Alright, so, well, so much for investigating that section of the galaxy. Well,
Colony established.
Colony's been established? Cool. We've managed to replace most Zikmok world leaders with our own disguised agents, with a few unfortunate exceptions. Efforts are underway now to deal with these last few stubborn holdouts, but we will have to push the date of our plan reveal forward. That's really annoying. So we just got pushed back again. I haven't seen this many setbacks before. I've done this before in Stellaris, but I haven't seen this many setbacks. This is nuts. Okay, so now we have some options for tile removal, noxious swamp and dense jungle. Let's have a look at what's in our way the most. We've got some upgrading to do as well in a few spots. I'm going to go ahead and clear those. I don't think any... Oh, wait, here we go. Dense jungle and noxious swamp. Okay. It looks like Noxious Swamp is going to be more immediately fruitful if we research that. So let's go ahead and look into Noxious Swamp removal. Excellent. We've got our spark of genius working on that, so that's a good thing. I'm kind of tempted, because there's no habitable worlds, I think I'm going to go ahead and build a frontier outpost out in Yad Bem, because I want access to some of these. These are just really nice systems out here. We are almost to the final probe system. That'll be nice to finish that quest. Why do I not have an option? Will you double click? Thank you. Okay, so we found the probe. Okay, it costs 200. That's why I don't have an option. That makes a lot of sense. Alright, well, since this colony ship, or science ship rather, can't really do anything here, let's go the other direction. Let's go to this spot. It's going to take a few jumps. Let's also... do a research project on that, and then go to the nearest planetary body and survey. Alright, so construction ship is on its way. We need to be at 200 minerals to build a frontier outpost. Frontier outposts now also have a influence cost, so that'll actually affect how much monthly influence we bring in. Which reminds me, I mentioned in a previous episode that there was a change that was part of the Heinlein patch, and of course I was completely mistaken, because I just covered the change of the Heinlein patch, and I was talking about a change that arrived with Clark, and now I actually can't remember what the change was that I mentioned, but someone corrected me on it, and I appreciate you commenting on that, because it was just my mistake and I don't want to confuse people. But I think one of the major... If I can remember what the change was, then by all means I will. I'll talk about it, but I mentioned something as being part of it, but if you watched my Heinlein patch and didn't hear me talk about it, and then heard me talk about a major change they made in... Oh, I know what it was. It's the core planets and core systems. That was changed in Clark 1.2, not Heinlein 1.3. So what that means is that, again, having additional planets doesn't necessarily affect this number, because this is based on systems, not planets now. Okay, so we've found more aliens. Man, are you serious? Are there aliens guarding both sides? That's really annoying. All right, so Iota aliens. What do we got here? Yep, same freaking thing. Now these guys, from my experience, they're not as hostile. They're not necessarily going to jump me if I come close. But those are two really powerful aliens preventing us from exploring, at least initially, into these arms of the galaxy that are neighboring us. So we're going to have to do something about that. Okay, I definitely have enough to do my observation post now, so let's take care of that. Or not observation post, but frontier outpost. Speaking of observation posts, how are we doing? 72 of 100. So that leaves what? 26? Roughly? So we're just shy of a year before we're done. Ugh. And now we actually are a year away. Exactly.
Special project complete.
We have recovered the sublight probe in the Yamathar system. The sensor telemetry it has collected over the years has provided us with a complete survey of all planetary bodies within the system. Awesome. So we've just ended this chain, and we're going to get a bunch of physics research from it, and also some energy credits just to bolster our supplies a little bit. Nice. Now you've already examined that system because of that probe, so there's no need to scour it further. So we're just going to give the science ship some new orders and have them keep looking around until we run into more space monsters that force us to change our plans. Same here. We're going to just go out this way a little bit farther. I'm going to start with the systems mostly that I can see. By the way, if you are newer to Stellaris and you're looking at all these lines on the screen and you're like, oh my god, what the crap does all of this mean? The actual colored border represents just that. It's our border. The green circles represent sensor range. So anything within these circles we can actually see. So once sensor range is upgraded, let's say there was a monster in the Conviab system. Right now, this construction ship can't detect what's going on in Conviab, but eventually it might reach a point where it can. Actually, it seems like it might be right within sensor range, but you get the idea. It looks like it's slightly outside of range, but that's just used to kind of see things from a distance. Let's unpause things. Just talked about that. We need to keep things moving. All right, so we are at 82 of 100 on integrating this world. I get the feeling we're going to have some very interesting slavery-related choices to make very soon. I might feel like a bad person. Okay, let's go ahead and upgrade some stuff here. We're going to need more resources before we can fully upgrade, but a leader has gained a level. Good. All right, hydroponics farm there. And pretty soon... Scanning the star unveils a small object in rapid orbit. Its small size and high velocity make it difficult for our sensors to isolate. Is this the ceramic container? I get the feeling this is the ceramic container quest. I'm looking forward to some of the new quests and content that we're going to see in Heinlein, and as a result of Leviathans. Because, I mean, they call Leviathans a story pack. It's literally called a story pack. So you can tell their focus is on narrative. It's one of the reasons I love Stellaris as a game for my channel. Oh, we haven't researched either of these aliens. Let's set those up. Please and thank you. Totally forgot. I'm too focused on worrying about the Baham observation post, which is almost done. The abandoned ship has been left to drift aimlessly above this moon, or unabandoned ship has been left to drift aimlessly. Hang on. We've gotten a report from Science Officer Sidefane Kalumix. It seems a ceramic container is circling the star Seatera. Most peculiar. It should obviously not be there, yet somehow it has managed to find its way into a close orbit. A special project can be issued to investigate the container and try to deduce how it ended up there. Okay, so we could gain some awesome influence, but we've got plenty of influence right now. So let's investigate. An abandoned ship has been left to drift aimlessly above the moon. The massive sails protruding from its hull suggest that it relied on solar power to function. Research it. How we doing?
Research complete.
3 months away. Done with deflectors? What new or what now? Let's go for that physics lab. Definitely. Increase the speed on our physics research even more. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and upgrade the lab here. What are you studying? I kind of want to focus on society research a bit. So, where was that I was just looking at? Nalzara? Yeah. So let's go ahead and upgrade the bio lab. Get a little extra society research out of that tile. Unpause things. We need to clear that tile pretty soon, just because food. Oh, interesting. Didn't this tile have a science? Okay, I just learned a lesson. I automatically get food on the landing tile. I don't need to worry about landing on a tile with food, because I think there was a science yield here. I'm going to have to go back and watch the video. I'm really curious now. But I think there was a science yield that was 1 physics, and now it appears to be completely gone. So I've actually replaced it, which means that ideally you need to set down on blank tiles, if I'm correct. I'll need to go back and look, but you are watching this video. You can go back and look right now. So check that before I founded this colony, because that's a gameplay tip as far as where you set down your colony ship. You don't want to land on a tile that might have anything. You might want to go for one of the blank ones. That is very useful to know. But you do want to land somewhere that will be able to give good adjacency bonuses. Okay. An investigation into a peculiar cluster of debris and space dust has yielded surprising results. It is a particulate cloud bristling with a powerful charge of unknown origin that has no business exhibiting simple reflexive actions, let alone movements with purpose, and yet it does. There is something undeniably ominous about the hazy subject of the relayed video feeds. Perhaps there are things in the universe we should not tangle with. Let us watch but not interfere. Void cloud observation. Research. We have discovered an abandoned... No, research it. There we go. We've discovered an abandoned solar sail ship in orbit around Tiersonia 6A. The sublight vessel was built by an unknown culture and appears to be several thousand years old. One of the massive sails has a large tear where some kind of object passed through, most likely a meteoroid which appears to have disabled the vessel. Although the technology of the ship is severely outdated, it does possess some interesting engineering design choices. That's the danger of solar sailing ships. One of the more realistic science fiction concepts of the past 10-20 years. Interesting. After achieving complete dominion over the Zikmok political leadership, our infiltration selves have successfully paved the way for the arrival of our first contact unit. In a lavish ceremony held at the new planetary capital, our diplomatic envoy graciously accepted a petition signed by every world leader on Furest calling for the planet's immediate annexation into the Voices. Jubilant citizens are crowding the streets, cheering their new alien benefactors. Compliments to all infiltration cells on a job well done. So, let's pause for a moment before we end this episode and consider what we have to do here. So, I could enslave this population. Enslaved populations excel at manual labor, but are not useful for more intellectual pursuits. Other populations are likely to react to the presence of slaves. We, however, are not, because we have our traits as a species. Hang on. Let's look at this. This is worth doing. Now, hang on a second. I remember seeing something about slavery tolerance. Oh, no, that's our... Hang on. Those are our ethics, not our... It doesn't have anything to do with our species. Governing ethics. There it is. We are fanatic collectivists, so we have a doubled slavery tolerance. So we'll actually do okay with the presence of slaves. I don't want to enslave them. It's really mean. Okay. This action also risks damaging our relations with certain other empires. Too bad. We could purge them, systematically decimate, and ultimately remove this population over time. This will severely decrease the happiness of this pop and of all sympathetic pops on the planet. It could also damage our relations with certain other empires. Huh. Do we enslave? Or do we purge? All right, we're going to start with enslaving. We can purge them later if we don't like it. Oh, that sound. Oh, no. Okay, so we definitely want power production on this planet here. Let's go ahead and get you into position here. Oh, man. That's the first time I've done that, Stellaris, and I am more satisfied than I should be. Okay. Let's see what we can do here on our homeworld. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so there it is. We officially... Now, the only downside to that is that because we now have control of furest over here, because we now have control of that system, that's one of our core systems taken up. We were talking at the end of the last episode about how we didn't have to worry about that for a bit. Now we kind of do. Our observation post is done here, which is nice. So tell you what, let's go ahead. Oh, wait, no, we have no money. But we're definitely going to build some more mining stations in the area. And it seems like there's a project for you to work on. Are you working on that, or are you just... You want to research that for me real quick? Oh, this is the improbable ceramics quest. That's what it is. Before we end the episode, I want to see how this turns out. I don't want to leave you in suspense about the ceramics. What the heck is going on? Inactive buildings. Okay, so yeah, this building is inactive. I know. Now, hang on, let's look at policies. Slave procreation is allowed, so they will procreate. I think. Well, they're not happy right now, understandably. All right, so yeah, so this population, I think, right here, is this population coming in? No. This population, here's one. Okay, yeah. I don't know why I wasn't reading that right. So we're building this, and this is a new population that's appearing. Right. Meanwhile, this is happening.
Special project complete.
Oh wow, it's actually taking a while. Well, in that case, I'm gonna have to leave you in suspense because that would take a while even on fast speed. So crystalline entities have been researched, so let's go ahead and issue a special research project for them as well. We encountered them in a system earlier, but I will go ahead and cut this episode here. In the next one, I think our work is cut out for us. We have managed to integrate and enslave the population of... These are actually docile slaves. Interesting. So this docile slaves faction, they want regulated slavery. So at least that means that they're not rebellious slaves. They are okay with slavery, but they want rules. They want fairness. You know, I mean, slavery is not fair, but they want regulations to where it is as ethical a system as you could have where slavery exists. So treatment regulations, trading regulations, etc. Maybe families of slaves, you know, have certain not benefits, but you know, just certain conditions that people dealing in them have to do with, that kind of thing. These are just things off the top of my head. But anyway, in the next episode, like I said, we have our work cut out for us because we can continue expanding in this direction and that direction and in all directions. And also we need to build up a fleet and take down these guys so we can actually start colonizing into the different arms of the galaxy as well. I would really like to see the voices expand in both directions here in addition to this way. So we really want to go in all axes as much as possible, but we're going to focus on this way for now and then translate that way as soon as we can get into these ships or get into these systems with a fleet of ships that can take them on. So thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along if you're not subbed already. I upload new episodes in Song of the Stars every day at 6 Eastern Daylight Time, which is GMT -4 for those of you not in the States, and comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in a bit.